Ladies and gentlemen, with Skyblock's newest update fresh in the minds of many of its players, prices are changing and, dare I say, collapsing. My name is Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News, and let's launch right into it. Starting off here, I want to take a look at the Bazaar, notably the price of Summoning Eyes and a few of the Essence products, and maybe some other things a little bit after that. Starting off with Summoning Eyes alone, we can see that the price has dropped very considerably over the last day and a half. As you can see, over the last 7 days, at least 2 days ago, the price was as high as 900k, but now it's fallen to about 550k. The reason for this is simple. The new area, the Zealot Bruiser area, drops way more Summoning Eyes than any old area did. Plus, more Endermen means more eyes, and therefore the price drops. This is having some other effects on the market that I'll get into soon, but yeah, the price of Summoning Eyes is likely to continue dropping, probably to as little as 400 or 300k in the future, which I would not be that surprised about. Moving on towards Essence, we have a couple of things, notably Dragon Essence, which has actually dropped in price quite considerably, and Crimson Essence, which has gone up since its overnight low of like 3,800 coins, or as little as 2,700 as opposed to this graph. The reason for this is simple. For Crimson Essence specifically, the bug that allowed you to kill Kudra while it was still, submerged, is no longer a thing, meaning that people are having to take a little bit longer to do their runs. However, I do feel like this is an overreaction from the market, and it's likely that Crimson Essence will drop in the next few days as more and more people get into Kudra, which makes sense. Dragon Essence is likely to keep falling. This is unlikely to remain very high for very long. It's been falling for a little bit now, and I wouldn't be that surprised to see it drop to as little as 500 or 600 per Essence. But this for now is, doing that. A couple other things I want to go over notably is the Titanic Experience Bottle and the Grand Experience Bottle. These have actually fallen in price as well, and you might be wondering, well, why? And the reason is very simple and also very cool. They drop from the Ender nodes. So as you can see, a Titanic is as little as 227,000 coins, which is going to make early game leveling of experience very easy, at least for a few people. On top of this, it's going to make it a lot easier to actually get these bottles and max out swords, so we're likely to see some prices drop a little bit, but I don't think it's super substantial. Moving on, we want to talk about the price of Ender Dragons a little bit, and that is because they have gotten very cheap very quickly. They have fallen at least 20 mil over the last day, and the reason is simple. It's because of eyes. When the price of eyes goes down, that means that the price of the Ender Dragon pet goes down, because obviously you need eyes in order to summon the dragon, and also there's a lot more interest in farming these right now because of their use in a lot of endgame content, notably Void Glooms, so there's a lot of demand, a lot more supply than before, and we're seeing prices collapse across the entire Ender Dragon market by a significant margin. This is likely to persist over the next few days and weeks. I'm hoping to see Ender Dragons fall a little bit more, probably to 150 to 130 million coins, maybe even a little bit lower. I would not be that surprised. On top of this, you can expect the prices of pretty much all dragon armor to fall pretty substantially, which obviously does make a lot of sense. Moving on to a few more minor things, as you can see, Jamie is submerged in stone. This is because of the whole spooky event changing around the hub. They didn't account for the fact that this fountain was here, so now Jamie is kind of, in the ground. Really kind of sucks for that guy. They're likely to fix this over the next few days and weeks. These types of bugs happen all the time. As you can see, there's some wood here just kind of floating in the sky. Doesn't really need to be there, but hey, it is here, and it's pretty interesting. A relatively minor bug that will probably get patched out within the day or two. Moving on to something a lot more major for many players, if you live in the EU area or around the UK, you may notice that you're having a lot of lag on Skyblock. This is because the proxy for the EU part of the world is failing miserably. The reason for this is unknown currently. It's likely to be fixed fairly soon by the admins, but I will say, don't try to go after the Skyblock admins for something like this. This isn't really under something that they do. People like Minikloon and people like JF Armin aren't really involved in this sort of thing. This is more of a server ops question, and many of those admins speak a little bit less frequently. The best thing you can do is try to make your presence known on the forums or commenting under this video or, sharing this all around. So hopefully we get a statement of some sort about it. But for now, that's all we can do until we, hope it gets fixed. I'm only saying this because I want people to actually know about this. It really does suck for a lot of EU players. They're unable to get on, they're unable to actually play the game. That's also why player numbers have been a little bit lower than you might expect after an update. It's all because this proxy is obliterating itself and leading to a lot of people getting kicked to limbo for basically no reason at all. Last up on our list, I want to switch to my Ironman profile to just talk really quick about how good this update has been for Ironman. As you can see, I'm using the Void Sword and basic, pure Ender armor, as well as having a full total set of the Ender, equipment. And I'm able to one-shot these Endermen at the top of the End Island, obviously. Now, you might be wondering, well, that's not really that special, but in a way it actually is. This has become much easier to pull off since the update, especially considering we don't have to grind for example, a Raider's Axe anymore. You can just get the Void Sword, which I would argue is slightly better in some regard. The Raider's Axe obviously has a lot more use on, places that aren't the End Island, but for new players who want a lot of direction and a lot of ability to know what they're doing, this update has been amazing for them. On top of this, giving them more access to the enchanting bottles, like I was talking about earlier, both Titanic and Grands from the Ender nodes, as you can see that guy's grinding them over there. This is really the update for Ironman players. If you don't have an Ironman, I recommend you get into it or at least try it out. It's really fun. And if you do have an Ironman, you'll probably agree with me that this update has revolutionized both earning money, grinding for experience, and gaining your early game levels more than any other update in the last year. So excellent job to the admins for revitalizing this mode. Overall, as we wait for the Garden update and Wizard Portal update, it's really a matter of time before these major pieces of content get released to the Alpha Network, and honestly, I am incredibly excited for them. The admins have been doing a great job recently, but all we can do right now is hope that they fix the EU proxies, and generally for the prices of a few more things to equalize and come to a more normal level before we really start considering investments and things of that nature. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, join my Discord down below for giveaways and updates, and look to the future fellas, because I will see you then.